Today on Broward Teen News, we're at McFatter Technical High School to learn all about the home of the storm.
Stay tuned to learn about McFatter's school spirit,
A student interested in fashion, and much more. Hello and welcome to Broward Teen News, McFatter Technical School Edition. I'm Amanda.
and I'm Kyle. Today we'll take a look inside our school to showcase some of the amazing things happening here in the storm.
McFatter may not have a football team or other extracurriculars, but what it does have is school spirit. From Monday, October 22nd through Friday the 26th, McFatter's technical high school students came together to celebrate homecoming week.
You know, usually people are in groups or they do their own thing. This kind of connects everyone together in a way because everyone participates.
Each day of the week, a different theme was chosen for students to participate in, such as Rep Your Country Day.
I love being able to express that. You know, I'm Jamaican. I love where I'm from. I think opposite day should be really fun. And pajama day yesterday was awesome because we got to be cozy in the best way possible.
The week finished up with a pep rally Friday afternoon and homecoming that evening, where students had a chance to relax and have a great time with their fellow classmates. Although McFatter isn't exactly your average high school, that doesn't mean its students have any less spirit. Reporting from McFatter TV, this is Mariah.
Family is a core value that many of us share.
In our next feature, our reporter Elizabeth showed us through the story of one Broward County family that it's a bond that will forever last.
Yeah, are you excited? Where are we going, Mateo?
To the park.
To the park? Yay!
4-year-old Mateo Diaz embarked on a trip to the happiest place on earth on August 30th. But life hasn't always been fairy tales and happiness for Mateo and his family.
When Mateo was born, when I was pregnant with Mateo, at 30 weeks of pregnancy, he wasn't moving so much. So I went to the doctor and I told him. He said it was normal. Not everybody moves so much. So I told him no, I've had 4 babies before he was supposed to be moving.
She underwent a more intense sonogram as a precautionary process, but the results her and her family were about to receive would impact their lives forever.
They told me that Mateo's kidneys were not working and that they had to get him out because he wasn't going to live.
I cried a lot, and it made me sad.
They pulled him out when he was 35 weeks.
After being examined, Mateo's doctors diagnosed him with a birth defect that did not allow him to pee, called pastoral bowel obstruction.
They told me that if he wasn't peeing, pee develops your lungs as you're a baby. So the second problem would be that he wouldn't breathe on his own. And probably his lungs were not developed because he was 35 weeks. So they just told me he wasn't gonna make it. After having 4 healthy kids and knowing that you don't expect that you're gonna have an unhealthy child when you're taking care of yourself.
After I saw Mateo come out of the hospital, no puedo hacerlo, mamá.
Though Mateo was expected to have a hard life and no growth, he continued growing like a normal child, so the doctor suggested for him to have a transplant.
Como padre, no hay nada más orgulloso que he hecho en mi vida que poder dado el riñón.
As a father, there is nothing that makes me prouder than knowing that I gave my kidney to my son. The day I found out I was a match for my son was a very, very emotional day for me. And on the day of the transplant, I could not express the joy I felt, and I still feel, in my heart, knowing I gave my son the option of having a better life.
Though Mateo and his family have gone through many hardships, it is undeniable to see the bond and love they have grown. Reporting for McFatter TV, I'm Elizabeth Young.
You got any good style tips? I really need to update my wardrobe.
Well, maybe you'll get some inspiration from our next story. I went out to the Young and Art Museum to cover the recycled fashion show. I think even some McFatter students participated in it too.
That sounds really interesting. Let's go check it out right now.
This is the Young at Art Museum. On November 16th, it held its 13th annual Recycled Fashion Show. True to the theme Wild Restyled, the designers were tasked to create chic dresses inspired by endangered animals while using recycled materials.
Oh no.
15 teams took the stage that night, but only one was crowned a winner. One of our very own McFatter students, Sierra de Cordova, designed the winning dress. But we later learned that this wasn't her first taste of victory up on stage.
I've competed 4 years, not in a row, but strewn out about, and I have won first place all 4. I don't really get bored of winning. I think it's the adrenaline rush of going on stage and being able to present a costume that I worked so very hard on.
And while she doesn't get bored, she didn't choose to take a year off.
Last year I had taken a break in competing in this competition because I had won 3 years in a row, and I wanted to show off everybody else's creative abilities. So I took a break, and this year I came back stronger than ever.
Within her designs,
Our designers.
Society only sees what they want to see, and they'll see an ocean for being pretty and beautiful, but what they don't realize is the trash that is interlaced into it. So there's so many plastic bags and just garbage that's floating in the ocean that we don't see because we choose not to see it until it's right in front of our eyes.
Her dedication to her craft is evident to everyone, and it garners praise from many.
Well, I do have a lot of respect for her because she does win this competition a lot. I've heard, which is probably because she takes so much time and effort into it.
The uber-talented Sierra de Cordova has left her mark on this competition, dominating it year after year. So it's only right that her legend ends with yet another win. Reporting for McFatter TV, this has been Kyle. In our next segment, Every Student Has a Story, we'll find out how even the quietest of students have a story to tell.
To choose this month's student story, we had our reporters Kaylani and Jada drop $1 and waited to see who would be the first Good Samaritan to pick it up and return it. It didn't take very long before we found our next subject for Every Student Has a Story.
Hussein! Would you like to Hussein? Please, Hussein. Would you like to participate?
Yeah, I would. John, you be the leader.
A seemingly quiet and introverted student, Hussein admits to not having many friends.
I'm one of those people where I think that almost everyone knows my name, but I don't really know them. Like when I just nod and say, hey. I'm not really one to join cliques, you know.
But that's not a problem for him. Hussein may not have many connections at school, but the bond he shares with his family is unbreakable, especially with his mother, who he helps on a day-to-day basis.
She practices English sometimes. She would ask me to type something for her, or she would ask me read something for her and fix it, then she'll read it.
Hussein and his family stick together through it all, but still, they are not without their hardships.
March 10th, 2018. I want to say after school, 5 o'clock. That's when I got word that my aunt had died. I still don't know how to help my mom. She deals with it whenever she's upset. I try to talk to her, she just pushes me away.
Even through tough times, Hussein does what he can to help support his family.
They're there for you no matter what.
Reporting for McFatter TV, I'm Amanda.
Tasty, crunchy goodness wrapped up in a golden brown package. Just imagine the flavor bursting in your mouth. Fresh beef, caramelized onions, and melted cheese. Not to mention the perfectly cooked fries. You're hungry, aren't you? I knew it. A sandwich and fries so good, you'll never want to share. Buy one next time you're hungry at the McFatter cafeteria.
The amount of movies that are being released every year keep increasing.
That's so right. But how do we know which ones are worth watching?
Well, one student did the investigation for us.
Let's go with Allison for our Popcorn Storm.
Hi, I'm Allison, and welcome to Popcorn Storm. Welcome to the show, where we show you the biggest movies of the month. Today, we have 2 movies that will surely leave you at the end of your seat. Let's go watch them.
I had a series of visions when I was younger. And after each one ended, the same thought would be stuck in my head.
What did you see?
I saw a nun.
Okay, pause. I just want to let you know I'm not a horror fan, so I'm more of a comedy, happy kind of stuff, but like with the flowers and the smiley face. But anyway, let's just go to the movie. For all of you horror fanatics and followers of the Conjuring series, we bring you the horror spin-off, The Nun, where we follow a Roman Catholic priest and a nun in her novitiate as they uncover an unholy secret in Romania in the year of 1952. If you like the Conjuring series, then you'll probably like this one because it's just more of the same stuff. Anyway, I got scared watching this movie because it really sets the mood with its graphic and effects. So I rate this movie an A.
Hello.
Now, let's leave them doing whatever they were doing and let's go watch something happier, shall we? Now that this is more my topic, let me just introduce you to our protagonists. This is Rachel Chu. Rachel Chu was living her life with her handsome boyfriend, which is Nick Young, this one right here, until one day Mr. Nick decides to go to Singapore with Rachel to his best friend's wedding. Oh yeah, did I mention that Nick is one of the wealthiest people in Singapore? Yeah, small little detail. But there's a small problem. Nick has a mother, and that is Rachel's mortal enemy.
Don't you want Nick to be happy?
I know you're not what Nick needs.
If you're looking for a good time, this is the movie for you. So I rate this movie with a 9.8. Oh, and by the way, Nick, that was not cool. And that is all we have for you today. Thanks for watching. I'm Allison, reporting for McFatter TV.
Hello, I'm Anise Ambrose, and welcome to another edition of Tech Corner. I'm here at Drafting with Corbin Aguiar to learn about one-point perspective.
Hello. This is Corbin Aguiar, a 12th grade student here at McFatter in the Drafting Tech program, and today I'll be talking about one-point perspectives.
One-point perspectives can be used in many contexts, especially in drafting and art. The horizon line represents where your eye is in relation to where the object is. Let's say you're looking at the object from the top of it and you're looking at it from a top angle, then the horizon line would lie above the object. The station point basically represents where exactly the eye is in relation to the object. So that's why I'm casting all my lines to and from the station point and seeing where they hit the picture plane and casting those points over in order to make this perspective that I'm doing. The best way to describe the picture plane is as if through the eyes of a telescope. If you look through the telescope, you'll notice that the stars look really small. They almost look like a speck of dust, even though you know that they're giant. They're bigger than Earth itself. So even if it's a large object, if it's far away from the picture plane, it will appear small in the perspective.
So the ground line, this represents where exactly the object is on the ground. It's basically just the bottom of the object. So you just draw a line straight across, and there's your ground line.
Think of the hall I mentioned earlier and how the walls and the roof and everything all seem to vanish into one point way out in the distance. Just like that, that point is your vanishing point. It's basically where everything seems to go to. And that's basically the same thing with the perspectives. That's the point you'll see here. I hope this video helped, and if you do have any questions, please feel free to stop by Drafting anytime.
We hope you learned something new. Reporting from McFatter TV, I'm Anise Ambrose.
Hi, my name is Max, and I'm a bully victim.
It all started in middle school. I was small, and people made fun of me for my weight. I don't think anyone really knows how deep bullying cuts. It really makes you question yourself, like, why me? Why was I a target? I don't really know. I don't prefer to question it. But more on the bullying, it happened every day after the bus dropped me off. A group of teenagers would come over and they'd beat me up or do whatever satisfied them, really. They'd burn me with cigarettes and throw mud on me. It really led me to some dark times.
Did you know that you should only be listening to music at the 70% level? Because if you go any higher for long periods of time, it will damage your hearing? Research has shown that long periods of exposure to loud music can result in permanent hearing loss. Don't be that one kid who goes deaf before they get old. Do yourself a favor and protect your ears.
Do you like horror movies?
Oh, I love them. Fear excites me.
Well, you're gonna love the short film coming up called Croissant.
Watch it!
My croissant.
There's a serial killer loose. I'm paranoid.
I locked the doors.
Oh, okay.
I never got to eat my croissant.
Well, that wraps it up here from McFatter Technical High School.
If you like these stories and you want to see more, make sure to like our Facebook page.
See you next time.